What can I say? Apes are stronger together. Yo, welcome back to the Film Archives, where I break down and recap movies. That way I can answer the question for you. Was it worth watching? I upload new videos every week, so please consider subscribing to the channel for more movie-related stuff. But with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and start the breakdown of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Was it worth watching? The movie starts off and we have some narration on the screen where we are able to see that for thousands of years, humans ruled the planet. However, their hubris would lead to their downfall, basically like social media. Yeah. After the narration, we are introduced to three apes by the name of Noah, Anaya, and Suna from a nearby clan that actually raises up eagles. Remember this, because this will become important later. We then follow Noah. We see him preparing for a coming-of-age ceremony along with his friends Anaya and Suna. The ceremony is known as the bonding ceremony, and it essentially is where they go out and they complete a high climb to one of the highest eagle nests, and they take a few eggs so that way they can raise and bond with the baby eagle. Quick note, the treetop where the eagles have their nest is actually like an old and crumbling freeway, and this is a nice touch. We'll see a lot of these throughout the movie. The group manages to get 3 eagle eggs. As Noah, Anaya, and Suna are returning home from gathering the eagle eggs, they encounter what they call an echo, which is just a human scavenger, and they do find a blanket that the human has been using. And Noah decides to take the blanket back home to his tribe. As Noah returns home, we meet his mom and dad, and honestly, so far this movie is really well done, and there are already some very touching moments. We learn that Noah's dad is actually the master of birds, and he's kind of the lead trainer of the eagles, and he has his own really big eagle known by Sun Eagle. Noah then shows the human blanket to his dad, and they've decided, you know what, this is bad news and it's pretty unsettling, so they decide to send one of their biggest warriors by the name of Oda to scare the human echo away. Later that night, in a shocking turn, we see that the human scavenger actually followed Noah home to his village, and I'm guessing this was to steal food. Noah catches the human, and as she's attempting to escape, she bumps into Noah, and she accidentally breaks his eagle egg, and this causes a big issue as the bonding ceremony for the eagles was being held tomorrow, and with no egg, Noah cannot bond with his baby eagle. So he decides, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna look for another egg tonight.
I want my sex tonight.
Oh! During his search for a replacement egg, we see Noah encounter a few masked apes, and they're using electric weapons. They look a lot like cattle prods, and these are some big burly boys, not the super chill chimpanzees we've seen up until this point. These are some real King Donkey Kong looking motherfuckers. We see the dead bodies of 2 masked apes, and we learn that Oda actually killed them. You know, the warrior that was sent out to scare away the human. And he manages to warn Noah with his dying breath that there are more and he needs to hide right away. So it's not good. We really gotta give respect to Oda for taking 2 of these masked warriors down, single-handedly too, represent, homie. This group of masked apes are also searching for the human as they respond to the smell of the blanket that Noah had brought home earlier. Noah hides and he manages to evade them. However, the apes follow his horse back to his clan. So Noah hurries home and he finds that his village is already being burnt to the ground. And, the masked apes are killing members of his tribe. And this is gnarly, I'm not going to lie. And by this point, I was already captivated and completely into this movie. We're then introduced to the gorilla general, and his name is Silva. He kills the village elder, and he proclaims that this is for Caesar, which we will learn more about later in the movie. So the gorilla general Silva then follows Noah up to the eagle roost, where Noah's father is, attempting to save all of the eagles. They have a fight. Silva winds up killing Koro, and then he also drops Noah from the super high platform up there, and it's super scary, dude. It's super scary. It's really bad. The next day, Noah wakes up and he sees that his entire tribe has basically been abducted and stolen. He mourns the loss of his father Koro, and he buries him. And we have a really epic scene here where he's talking to his father's grave, and he's like, I swear I'll find our tribe and I'll bring them home. We then see Noah's father's eagle from earlier, Sun Eagle, fly off from his grave, and this is a nice touch, as this eagle will actually be with Noah for the rest of the movie. We then see Noah ride off on horseback in search of his clan, and he eventually meets up with an orangutan by the name of Raka. Raka explains to him that the masked apes from earlier also killed his son, who was his village. It's pretty sad little touch there. And he also explains to Noah about the true Caesar and his teachings. Rocca is the last member of the Order of Caesar, who basically try to embody the true teachings of the real Caesar from the earlier movies. And, you know, they live by the motto that apes are strong together and ape shall not kill ape. Apes strong together. It's super sick. And I'm not going to lie, the voice acting in this movie is straight up goated. No cap, fam. That's on God. Like, that's straight up gat, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Rocca then decides to join Noah on his journey to save his clan, and they notice that they are actually being followed by the human scavenger. Rocca is very compassionate, and you know, he embodies the Order of Caesar, so he actually offers the human food and a blanket, and he decides to name her Nova. So Noah and Rocca decide that they'll actually take in Nova and they'll let her travel with them. We see on their travel, Noah encounters an old telescope, somewhat of a callback to the original movie where, you know, they're in outer space and they decide to land on the planet, not knowing that it was Earth at the time. So this is kind of a nice touch. The trio then encounters a group of like primitive humans, and they're all drinking from the river. And suddenly at that moment, the gorilla General Silva has found them and he attacks them. The apes give you total orc vibes from Lord of the Rings. It's pretty cool. Noah and Rocca actually wind up rescuing Nova, much to their surprise. She's actually intelligent and can speak, and she calls out to Noah, you know, in an attempt for help, so it's crazy. She then later reveals that her name's actually May, and she knows exactly where Noah's tribe was taken by Caesar's raiders, so she decides to show them the way. As the group is crossing a bridge on their way to the settlement, they're actually ambushed again by the guerrilla raiders. They ambush them from both sides of the bridge, and during the chaos, May falls into the river, but luckily Rocca, the orangutan, jumps in after her and saves her. But the raiders from Caesar's group cut the rope, and we see Rocca go down into the rapids, and he's never seen again. So Noah and May are then captured, and they're taken to the Apes settlement, which is built on like an old rusted cargo ship, and this looks like it's some sort of old military base, but yeah, it's pretty insane stuff. The General Silva then takes May to meet another human named Trevathan. This guy's played by William H. Macy, so it was just kind of funny to see him in this role, and he's actually teaching the leader of this group of apes about the old human world, and you know, teaching him how to read books and things like that. We see Noah is reunited with his clan, and he's also introduced to the apes king, Proximus Caesar. Proximus Caesar has captured and enslaved all the nearby clans of apes, and he's basically forcing them all to work, so that way he can open the old human vault that they've built their base around, hoping that the human technology locked inside can like further advance his intelligence and his evolution. It's actually pretty scary. May then explains that when the old world fell, the government stashed like half of whatever they had left over inside this military vault, so whatever is inside, she does not want Proximus Caesar to get a hold of. Proximus then invites Noah to dinner with May and Trevathan. Proximus thinks that Noah is like super smart and clever. He noticed that Noah actually was able to fix one of the electric cattle prods all on his own, so he thinks that given Noah's intelligence, he'll be of some use to him, you know, to help him open up the weapons vault. Proximus also warns Noah that May and all other humans cannot be trusted, and that they only have their own agendas in mind, you know, so it's... Noah then begins to doubt himself, and he sees that his entire clan has been, you know, captured by Proximus, and, you know, that he's failed to upkeep his promise to his father where he said he was going to bring them all home. And it's at this moment we see Son Eagle, Noah's father's eagle, finally accept Noah, and basically kind of reassures him that, you know what, you can do this. You can lead your people home and you can save them all. And I'm not gonna lie, this was a really good scene. I'm not gonna lie, up until this point I'd already cried at two other scenes, so like this was just icing on the cake right here. Noah then confronts May, demanding the truth in exchange for his help. May then discloses that she has knowledge of a hidden entrance to the vault, and that she basically wants to destroy everything inside, and she seeks a book inside the vault that is capable of restoring speech and communication to humanity across the world. May then tells Noah about the virus that almost killed off all the humans and made the apes smarter, while also revealing that the apes used to be silent and that humans were the dominant species. And this is kind of a shock to Noah obviously. However, Noah does agree to help her enter and destroy the vault. We then see the group of Noah, May, Suna, and Anaya secretly plant like explosives and bombs all around the seawalls that are protecting the settlement, during which Trevathan catches them and intends to, kind of rat them out to Proximus Caesar, and we see May just like strangle him to death. So she's on a mission. She's on a straight mission, bruh. We then see the group climb up the seawall where they enter into the vault through a cave. Inside the vault, they find a stockpile of weapons like AK-47s and like full-on tanks, and they also find May's book, which is actually a hard drive that will come into play a little bit later. Noah, Anaya, and Suna discover like an old children's book that is actually depicting zoo animals, and it basically shows that humans were once the dominant species and that they actually kept apes in cages and, kept them in zoos, and that, they were all silent. So it's pretty sad. Having gotten what they came for, we see the group make their way out of the bunker. They are actually confronted by Proximus Caesar and his tribe. We see one of Proximus's lieutenants threaten to kill Suna. Little did they know, May actually has a gun, and she shoots the ape and saves Suna. She then runs away and triggers all of the explosives, which winds up flooding the bunker and flooding the settlement with all of the apes, including Noah and his tribe, still inside. It's really sad. We see May just dip out and flee the settlement, while all of Noah and his tribe attempt to climb to higher ground through the weapons bunker. We see Noah is actually pursued by the guerrilla General Silva from earlier, who he outsmarts and traps, and he just like leaves him to drown. This is a satisfying moment, honestly. We see Noah helping his tribe climb to higher ground, and he manages to escape the bunker, but as soon as he exits, he's actually attacked by Proximus Caesar. They have a brief confrontation where Caesar gets the better of Noah, and he basically is threatening to kill him, and before he kills him, he wants him to bend or bow in front of his entire tribe, just kind of showing submission. And instead of doing that, he sings his tribe's eagle song, and this scene gave me chills, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this scene was so good. Like, if you're not even gonna watch this movie, just look up the death of Proximus Caesar and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and watch this scene, because it was so good. We then see Noah lead his tribe in summoning their eagles with their eagle song. All of the eagles wind up attacking Proximus Caesar, and this like 20 freaking great eagles attacking him, and it winds up pushing him off the cliff and into the sea below, thus ending the reign of Proximus Caesar. It's so satisfying. Noah and his clan return to rebuild their home. We then see May arrive, who wants to say goodbye to Noah. She explains to him that she destroyed the bunker to prevent the apes from accessing the weapons, and none of that land was meant for apes. They have a really thought-provoking conversation here where Noah counters like, well, what is meant for apes? Us to be in silence? Like, humans just want to take everything for themselves. Like, it honestly reminds you of the original Caesar, which was a really nice touch. Not even gonna lie, it was really nice. So Noah and May both kind of question if apes and humans can peacefully coexist given their differences and similarities. But Noah decides to forgive her, and he actually gives her the medallion that Rocca gave him earlier in the movie, kind of carrying on the order of Caesar with May. We see Noah take Suna to look through the telescope that he found earlier on his journey. We also see May traveling and return to a human settlement, which is in a satellite base. May delivers the hard drive that she got from the weapons vault from earlier, and they are able to successfully reactivate all of the satellites, and they also are able to contact other intelligent humans who are also using the satellites. So they basically kind of restarted the communication for the world. Also thought this was kind of a cool play on, the very first movie, because we're looking through the telescope into space. It's kind of foreboding, I will say that. Like, they have satellite communication, so how far advanced are these apes going to get, and how far are humans going to be pushed? Like, will they have to take shelter in, some sort of space shuttle, thus kind of bringing the series full circle? I think that would be really cool. I mean, I'd like to think that that's how they're going to end the movies. But yeah, then the movie kind of ends. This was probably one of my favorite movies I've seen this year, and definitely my favorite out of the, Planet of the Apes series. Like, it was super good. This movie was 2.5 hours long, and it did not even feel like that whatsoever. Every minute of it was super enjoyable. But was it worth watching? I would say absolutely yes. Even if you're not a fan of, the series, or even if you haven't seen the other Planet of the Apes movies, they did a good job of making this kind of a standalone movie, so you can enjoy enjoy it without having, you know, prior like knowledge or anything like that. They explain enough in the movie, and you know, they've separated it enough that it can be enjoyed just on its own. And also it's just such a good sci-fi like idea. Like, you can't really top this, you know what I mean? But yeah, I would definitely say give this movie a watch. It was definitely worth watching. All right, but that will do it for this video. If you liked it, please remember to leave it a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, peace. Peace, peace, peace.
What a wonderful day.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.